Hey, have you ever felt like one part of you wants to do something, but another part just wants to do the complete opposite? Well, there's a reason for that. It's because your brain has this amazing team inside, a super powerful emotional horse and a really calm, thoughtful rider. Let's get to know them.
Okay, so think about it like this. Your feelings, they're like a wild horse. It's strong, it's fast, and it reacts in a blink of an eye. It gets excited or scared before you even know what's happening. And then you've got the rider. That's your thinking brain. The rider is the calm one, the planner, who uses what it knows to make a smart move. One is all feeling, the other is all about thinking.
But what happens when the team doesn't work so well together? What if the horse gets really spooked and just bolts? Let's jump into a story about a time when feelings totally took over, and that horse just ran wild. So picture this. A woman is sound asleep, and then bam, in the middle of the night, she wakes up and she is absolutely terrified. Her heart is hammering in her chest, and her whole body feels like it's buzzing. This was her wild horse waking up and just panicking, even though nothing bad was actually happening. That scary feeling was so strong that her horse just took off. It was a total stampede. She felt completely out of control, like she was on a runaway horse and couldn't do a thing to stop it. She even told her husband, "Something is terribly wrong. You have to get me to the hospital right now." And here's the key part. In that moment, her thinking brain, the rider, had completely lost the reins. The wild horse was in charge. Her feelings were screaming, "Danger," and it's all she could hear. It was like her rider had been thrown right off, and she was just being carried along for a really scary ride. But here is where the story turns around. This is the good part. After that terrifying night, the woman actually learned what a panic attack is. And that knowledge, wow, it was a total game changer. It gave her rider the tools it needed to climb back into the saddle, ready for the next time the horse got scared. You see, knowledge is the most important tool the rider has. It's everything. Just understanding what was happening to her body was like someone handing her the reins to that wild horse. For the very first time, she had a way to actually guide her feelings instead of just being dragged around by them. And just as you'd expect, a few months later, it happened again. She woke up in the middle of the night with that exact same scary feeling. Her heart started to race, and that wave of terror started to build. The wild horse was getting spooked all over again. But, and this is a huge but, this time was different. Instead of getting thrown off, her rider, her thinking brain, kicked right into gear. It remembered what it had learned, it knew what was happening, and it held on tight, ready to guide that horse right through the fear. The rider had a simple little plan. First, she just recognized the feeling. She told herself, "Oh, I know this. This is just my horse being scared." Then, instead of freaking out, she stayed calm. She got a drink of water and made some chamomile tea. She took some deep, slow breaths. And maybe the most important part, she just waited. She knew the feeling would go away. And guess what? In 15 minutes, it was gone. This is the really cool part. Every single time you choose to be the rider and guide your horse, you are actually building a new path in your brain. For real. Think about walking through a thick forest. The first time, it's tough, right? But if you walk that same path every day, pretty soon you've got a nice, clear trail that's super easy to follow. So how long does it take? Well, studies suggest that it takes about 21 days of practice to make that new, calm path in your brain stronger than the old, scary one. After that, your brain actually starts to prefer taking the new, easier trail. That's how powerful practice is. Okay, so how can we help our little brain team work even better? How do we give them some super fuel to keep the rider strong and the horse nice and calm? Turns out it's actually pretty simple stuff. Just think of these things as the daily power-up for your brain team. They seem small, but they make a massive difference. A little sunshine helps your brain make happy chemicals. Water keeps everything running smoothly. Sleep is like a cleanup crew for your mind. Exercise and play burn off stress and bring in good energy. Happy thoughts literally build those positive brain paths. And healthy food gives your rider the strength it needs. Every little bit helps the team work together. So what's the big idea here? What's the main takeaway? It's that you are in charge. You have the power. It's your choice. You are the one holding the reins. Let's just let this one sink in for a second. Your feelings are like a wild horse. They are not a good boss. Your thinking brain is. That says it all, right? Your feelings are amazing and important, but they just react. The rider, your thinking brain, is the one who should be steering.
That's right. You are the rider. This doesn't mean you pretend you don't have feelings. Of course not. It just means you don't have to let them be the boss and run the whole show. You get to choose every single day to pick up those reins and gently guide where you're going.
So, I'll leave you with this one question. Now that you know you can build brand new trails in your own mind, what's one new path you're going to choose to start building today?